Hey, here's a little disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the MAWP organization. And there are some themes and subject matter that may not be suitable for all audiences, so viewer discretion is advised. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. Beautiful
Nice
weather out.
August night, August
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Hot August night, but it's the daytime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm in the middle of a bong hit. Let's keep that trend going.
Yes. Oh yeah, I could like another one of these. I got some new stuff, so it's really good.
I have some tasty, delicious chocolate diesel. It's a little more chocolate than diesel, but it's still good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Any diesel is good diesel.
Yeah. Yeah,
found.
it is, but there's way, like, if there's diesel in this, it's very light diesel.
Oh, really?
It's like a fifth. It's got about a fifth of the diesel content, I'd say, based on how I feel from it. It's good, but diesel has a particular kind of effect on my brain. Just boogie woogies right in there.
Yeah, this stuff's called gelato or something like that. It's got a good smell, good taste. I like it.
That's good. So we're into week 3 or 4 where I am not prepared. I had the time to get prepared. I was going to get prepared yesterday. Had the little deal all set up. I was going to get all the songs in order. I didn't. I laid down. Slept until 11 and laid around most of the day. It was, I was exhausted. I'm catching up. Which is fine. I needed the rest. Everything's great. And we'll have a great show, even though I'm not prepared.
Right on. That's the attitude.
That is right.
Yes.
I might have to actually prepare for this show and another show this week if Rappin' Zach comes in tomorrow, which he probably is. And I'm not sure which of those shows will air first if he comes in tomorrow. I'm also not releasing this show until Sunday or Monday because it's the end of the month, but I'm out of space, so I have to wait an additional couple of days, which is no big deal. We'll just have 2 shows come out next week in a relatively short time frame.
Okay.
And
or just be one ahead like your normal.
there's nothing wrong with that either, other than the timeliness of things. Because sometimes, I don't know, when we're doing the show in the week, it's good. It gets a good feel. Like, we get a good rhythm to things. We're timely enough to be weekly relevant, but sometimes we're really good about not dating ourselves at all and not having anything. The show is just this hodgepodge of conversations that isn't like, oh, it's from whatever date. Excuse me, coughing into the mic and pulling a Chris here.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I've been told by people listening to this that I cough too much in the mic, that I got to stop doing that.
You cough too much in the mic. You're right.
Yep.
They're right to criticize you.
Yep.
And they can give you as much shit as they want.
Absolutely.
They can go on the internet and they can troll you and say, that motherfucker just keeps coughing in the mic, and the other dude just kept saying And it's like, what kind of show is this?
I know. Well, I need to get a pedal.
Suppressor. No, you just need to not do it.
Well, but if I have the pedal, then I could do that, and then because I can push the mic away, and you're still going to hear it.
Well,
I mean, you could put a noise suppressor on it if I cut it out after that, but you're still going to hear it.
if we take the background mic out, then you won't. Like, pull that mic away and we don't hear it. Like, so there's that. Get some things queued up here. Ultimately, fuck them.
I know.
I say that, but it's like I do try to be courteous, because I don't want to cough in their ears or say
I know exactly.
Or
because because that's like easily a couple decibels louder.
Use it
when
as
you
my
cough. So
It is
so it
mine.
gets louder. I mean, if somebody's listening to it louder because they're doing stuff, now I'm saying you got this really super loud cough. It is kind of annoying and stuff. So, but yeah.
I picked up glasses that aren't actually the glasses that I would normally use because they're not mine. They just look just like mine because I stole them from the person who they belong to. And these not being mine, they're filthy. They're covered with cookie crumb fingerprints and goo. You know. You especially know. Everything you
Not
got
cool.
cookie crumb fingerprints and goo.
Yeah. I know. I got to go to a optometrist and get some glasses. I've been saying that, but I need to.
At least since we started the show, you've been saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, those are sparkling. Wow. No, this is not it. That's not it at all. Oh, where did I had a list of things that I was planning, and that's not it. Wow, I'm even less prepared than I thought I was, and I thought I was unprepared.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, so let's go back in time, back to last week's show, and see where I left off with things. Because I'm pretty sure I had started this week's show right here. There we go. Okay, we're good to go. This is not necessarily what we're playing, but there's some suggestions of some things that we might get to. Okay,
Gotcha.
and continue with this, and we'll now make space for the theme song. Goodbye, gray sky, hello blue. Nothing can hold me when I hold you. Feels so right, can't be wrong. Rockin' and rollin' all week long. These days are right, feeling free. Happy days, these days are right. Share them with me. There we go.
All right.
That's pretty good. So this is a show we do that we come here every week, most of the weeks of the year, this year,
Yep.
and we put on. It's called the MAWPCAST 1 radio program, and it is a program where we talk about nonsense and random
Yep.
things and pop culture trivia and anecdotes, and then we play songs by groups that have originated from the Tacoma and Greater Pierce County region known as the Tacoma scene.
Yep.
We play them from all time and space and
From everywhere.
Yep, gender and ethnic backgrounds, and we don't discriminate. So, I am a host of the show. My name is Potter, and this is the other host of the show this week, Soundman Chris. We are the ones that are here,
Yes.
and this is all the information that I have for you about
Yep.
the show.
But other than that, we are totally winging it.
Hey, if this is your first time here, then now you know,
Yeah.
and you can go to our different pages and that we have on the social media world in the internet. There's a place called the internet. You may have
Yes.
found us here. You may be listening to us on the internet right now or watching us, but you're probably listening to us because statistically speaking, most of our audience are listeners. It's a radio program. It's in the
Yes.
title. So you can support us in various ways. We have these Facebook pages. Music and Art and Wright Park at Tacoma is our Facebook page. And we have a website, MAWP Tacoma, at the internet address.
Yeah.
you know.
Internet address. thing.
And we have Instagram, MAWP Instagram, and MAWP Twitter also. You can follow us there, and you'll know exactly when this show is released. Or realistically, if you're following those social medias, you'll know the day after the show is released probably, because that's about how on the ball our social media is.
Oh, okay.
Social media department's lacking.
Because
Those
I don't
people-
have Twitter at all.
those
I don't
people
know-
need to be
I don't even
fired.
know how to use Twitter.
Twitter's just like Facebook, and it's even more like Facebook than it used to be. They're all just the same. They're all stupid. They're all
Yeah.
evolving to the same stupid thing that nobody likes in the first place. All people do is bitch about these things in the first
So I
place.
was right just to have one, and that's it.
You can't just have one. It really depends. Like
that's
some,
all I got.
see,
I just got one.
I have some friends in the jiu-jitsu world, and they're like, "Oh, Instagram, Instagram, Instagram." And there's people who like are models and influencers. They want the Instagram. That's the thing.
Oh.
And people who are fleeing Facebook for the Facebook tyranny will often go to Instagram, even though that Instagram's owned by Facebook, and they don't seem to understand that. It's the same fucking company. It's just like I think Instagram was an independent thing, but Facebook bought it.
I think so too. Yeah.
And then Twitter. Twitter is where just some of the worst people go, generally speaking. Like, yeah, it's just like I feel like it's the place where people can be the most anonymous, so they're the most douchey. They're just the most outright douchey.
Really?
Yeah, I believe that is the thing, and I think it's the easiest to make tons of fake accounts or something. I don't know. It's a very abused and abusive social media like thing that some people love. And I've used it for various reasons, and like with cards, for instance, baseball cards. It's been an asset to me with baseball cards and connecting with baseball card users and traders and buyers and all this different stuff. And that's almost exclusively what I used it for until I started this, and now I'm starting to use it more for MAWP. But Twitter's not my favorite. Facebook's not really my favorite. Honestly, like, MySpace was a nice service when MySpace existed, and it was at its peak. And Facebook and their brilliant marketing ruined it by just starting to say, Facebook is for kids. Or MySpace is for kids, Facebook is for adults. When they started saying that Facebook is just for kids, when really it was a more sophisticated interface. Like, you could, like... learn programming with MySpace. You could program the way your page looked, and that was wonderful. And they took that away from you with Facebook, and they restricted what you could do, and the personalization, and the customization, and the different.
Is MySpace even a thing still?
Oh yeah, it's definitely still a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Even your old account probably still exists.
It probably does.
It does, like, because so many do. Like that, The problem is that at some point they lost their music database, like all the music that they had on there, gone. Because I used to get some, it used to be a source for me to get music from. The couple of the Rhino Humper songs that I had were from there. I never recorded some of them, unfortunately, because they had a bunch of great stuff up there, man, and no longer accessible. Some other things too. John Walker and the Hitchhikers was another one that I would get access to their tunes on there, and it was a great resource for bands. Even after it collapsed in the wake of Facebook taking over, it became then a specific band-oriented type of service, but it didn't catch on.
Yeah.
It still exists there, and it just languishes in obscurity on the shelf of social media failures.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Poor Tom.
Well,
he was everybody's friend.
I actually think I unfriended him.
Yeah. I did eventually also. Yeah. Because it became uncool to be friends with Tom. It's like, oh, you're still friends with Tom. One rookie. Yeah. What a noob.
All right.
So I heard you went to a baseball game.
Yes, I went to the Mariner game.
So you went to your first baseball game after our last show. Before our last show, you went to your first baseball game to Tacoma Rainiers.
Well, first one since I was like 8 years old.
Oh, okay. So your first, but nonetheless, you're now apparently a baseball fan.
Well, no. Well, I'm maybe a fan of going to a couple of games here and there, but not a super base, especially not the Mariners. Well, I mean the Mariners. Hold on. Going to see the Mariners was a lot more expensive. I mean, 2 beers and a water, $40. No.
That's pretty expensive.
That's dumb. I was just like going, really? Okay. So basically my 2 beers paid for your keg. Because I know you guys are getting those kegs cheap because it was a craft beer. But still, I mean, come on. And then, I was just like, okay, whatever. But I mean, we did have good seats. It was cool. It was easy to get there because we took the train. And it was kind of cool. This is the funny part. We go down to the train station downtown Puyallup. We get there early because they're doing some Mariner giveaway thingy. So I got an Edgar Martinez Hall of Fame bobblehead.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Lucky.
And then I got a Edgar Martinez street sign.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No shit. You should bring those down here.
When I think about the street sign, bringing that down here, put that up here. But
that'd be safer than the bobblehead. Anything breakable here is not safe for some reason. These guys break stuff all the time. They have to break things.
And well, they also gave us 2 Orca cards with $10 each for the train.
Wow.
Well, I got on the train both times, and they never helped me out with the Orca card or nothing. So we rode there and back for nothing. So we still got Orca cards, and they still have $10 on them each.
Are you sure?
It
just didn't automatically deduct them?
No.
You sure? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because you got to tap it on this machine that they have on the side.
So
of the
you
thing.
didn't tap them.
No.
And you're admitting this on the air.
I am admitting that because I didn't know. I never rode the train. I didn't know. I found that after the fact.
Ignorance of the law is like not the law's fault. I think it's your fault.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's fine. Come and get me. I'll give you the Orca card.
That's true.
But yeah,
you can have it back. Take the card.
but the old guy that was there too, he goes, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it." And Ashley even mentioned it to one of the guys, one of the train workers. I've never rode the train, and we're given these cards, and what am I supposed to do with them? The Orca card goes, you're like, hold on one sec, and this left, never came back, never nothing. So I think he was just saying, yeah, whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. So we got a bunch of free stuff, which was cool.
Yeah.
Free train ride up there and back. So I guess the cost of the beer isn't too bad because that's free $20 right there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're looking at it like that, then
yeah. So that's how I looked at it. But see, that ain't gonna happen every time.
No.
So I wasn't gonna count that.
Well, okay. So
unless you strategize it somehow, some way.
Well, there's various ways around things too. I mean, so you can like hop on a train with a couple of beers in your coat, and you can go to the bathroom and down a couple of beers like before the game.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, if you're strategic enough, you can like get in with something like that. I wouldn't necessarily try, but it could happen. People,
I wouldn't have been able to get in. Even I was in the wheelchair, and I still wouldn't have been able to get in with any alcohol of any sort.
I don't believe that because I know that you can to a Mariners game bring bags and backpacks.
Yeah, but they look in them now.
They do look in them, but they don't like search bottles or certain things. Yeah. You can bring like things.
Well, bottles you can bring in, but they have to be empty if you're going to use them for water.
Okay.
They have to be empty. Yeah, we are.
I see. It's been a while since I've been.
Like, I went through a big old bunch of scrutiny.
I know that I'd been a couple times and seen people bringing in backpacks and made notes of this that it could be done. And I've also went and took the little toke pin things and got through the metal detectors with those, which is nice to know.
Oh.
But yeah. Oh, okay. So, I wonder if I still have that. I hope I do. I might have thrown it away. I had a plastic pint bottle, had an old pint of vodka, and then the plastic bottle from that is the perfect size to fit right in your pants or anywhere.
Oh,
like
nice.
you can take that anywhere, and you can get in booze with that.
Well, you could get ones that are like a plastic bag.
Oh yeah.
That has a little nozzle thing, so it'll form fit anywhere.
I didn't know that. I mean, I guess I should assume that they have that kind of stuff now. It's been a long time since.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if I were still in the mode of going to shows and going to trying to get in places and get drunk for cheaper, then I would be all over that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of shows, you just mentioned that Night Ranger's going to be at the fair.
I think it's Night Ranger and REO Speedwagon.
I see this. That's a deterrent to me I know that a lot of people love REO Speedwagon. Not a fan. Not a fan of REO Speedwagon. I mean, not even a little bit. And I hate to say that because I know some people are very much a fan, and I do love like Journey, which is to some people just another REO Speedwagon. They're very
bands playing the Puyallup Fair. What?
Let's Go Night Ranger Tour, Puyallup, Washington, September 18th. State Fair. 3:30. I actually think I am busy that day, so I don't think I can make it. I was saying that was the first real show I ever went to was Night Ranger at the Puyallup Fair. And I could make it my last show. I think that'd be fantastic. But no, I will be busy that day. They might be playing against, that might be the day that Elton John's playing. I think Elton John may be playing the 17th and 18th.
Oh, then you'd be tied up then, huh?
And also, like, Elton John. Fuck. Kind of rather see Elton John. Although those tickets are probably $72,000.
Okay, so it's Billy Idol, Keith Urban, Weezer.
This is a great fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Beach Boys.
Yeah, well.
Aaron Watson, Dancing in the Dirt Party. Eli Young Band.
You're not talking
Dancing in
into
the
your
Dirt
mic and
Party.
you got a joint in your mouth.
The Cadillac 3, Dancing in the Dirt Party. Okay, a lot of dancing in dirt parties. American Freestyle Bullfighting. John Christ. Boys to Men in 98 Degrees. What?
I don't know, 98 Degrees. Boys to Men, they got a couple of good tunes, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Sierra and special guest Sir Mix-a-Lot.
It's a mix of all. That's cool.
Daryl Hall and Oates.
This is a great fair. Like, this is
Yeah.
one of the best fairs I've ever seen, actually.
Fiestas Patrias. Not sure what that. Chris Tomlin. Foreigner. September 8th.
It's probably not with Lou Graham.
I have no idea. And I think it's actually Foreigner, the one I'm going to, if I'm not mistaken. But I think there's more than. Let me see if there's. Yeah, Foreigner with special guest Night Ranger.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
It's Foreigner with special guest Night Ranger.
Yes.
So it's Foreigner's show.
Yes.
Night Ranger's just a support. Huh.
Yeah.
Also, Foreigner and Night Ranger is a much better show.
Yes.
Than,
And that's Wednesday, September 18th.
and oh yeah, that conflicts though. But that's definitely a significantly better show than REO Speedwagon because Foreigner rocks.
I don't know why I was thinking REO Speedwagon.
It's all right.
Hmm.
And you know, I just prefer like a band like Foreigner more than
Yeah, me too.
Speedwagon. Like now, REO's got a couple of great songs, even despite the fact that I'm not the biggest fan of them. But
yeah, well, they have their good points, their bad points.
Yeah.
You know, just like any band. You know, it has some things that are just not.
What tears it for a lot of people with a lot of acts, we've mentioned this before, is a singer. A singer can really just put a band off for a person. And I don't like the singer of REO Speedwagon. Some of the raspiness and the whininess that is him. It's a little Bryan Adams. There's a little too much of that tinge of and that era of radio that I just cringe at. More than most country, Bryan Adams and REO Speedwagon will make me go, oh no, maybe something else.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Right. Let's play some music.
Let's do that. Let's find something to hear.
All right.
And hear it. And I don't know what that's going to be, but we will hear it.
It's been a long time since I saw you. Never thought I'd feel this for you. Maybe life is just as still here after all. A beautiful smile I stopped to see. Spirits so low and hearts so free. You were the one that got away from me. Because you were over my head, over my head, over my head. It's raining like the sun won't shine no more. Like the sun won't shine no more. Over my head, over my head, over my head. It's raining like the sun won't shine no more. Like the sun won't shine here anymore. At my heart it feels so heavy, like a song that just won't sing, like a feeling deep inside these eyes. Beautiful smile I stop to see. Spirits so low and hearts so free. You were the one that got away from me. Because you were over my head, over my head, over my head. It's raining like the sun won't shine no more. Like the sun won't shine no more. Over my head, over my head, over my head. It's raining like the sun won't shine no more. Like the sun won't shine here anymore. And my head is in the water. I am sinking, thinking I am hard to breathe. And my mind grows tired of believing I'm deceiving, and my heart's deceiving me. Because you were over my head, over my head, over my head. It's raining like the sun won't shine no more. Like the sun won't shine no more. Over my head, over my head, over my head. It's raining like the sun won't shine no more.
I just took my glasses off, even though I need them. Am I not hearing stereo now? I think I might not be hearing
What?
stereo. It doesn't matter. It's
You're
not
not
important.
hearing
It's not
stereo?
important. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't move.
See if a simple movement helps.
It's probably there's probably nothing wrong, but I don't know. That didn't do anything. We just heard some songs. It's what we do on this show. We play them and hear them and play them for you. We just heard a song by a band called Effluvia. A song called Dunce Cap.
Yes.
That was intense. Before that, we heard a song called Mosaic by the band Velocity. We heard Over My Head by Zoli Mora. And we heard 10 by Low There. And that's what we heard.
Low there, war out there.
Not anymore. Just Low There.
Really?
Yeah, we've had this discussion. You should listen to the show more, because if you
I
listen to the show
well,
more, you'd be up to date on all this information.
I forget.
See, I figured out the problem is that you saying it is not going to help you retain things, but if you hear it, then you'll retain it. You know, if you hear these people, if you just pretend that this show is not you or me, and you just listen to it and say, not that I know you listen to it sometimes, but you know what I mean. Like, so, but if you go back, you can go back and listen to old episodes, and you'll be like, oh wow, they're right. Or, hey, that's some good stuff that they're saying.
Well, I did not know that.
Yep. And you realize, well, I must have known it once because I said it, or it was said to me.
I know. What's to say, everybody? When I meet people in bands and stuff, it's usually when I'm doing a show, it's usually like 3 to 4 bands, and there's 4 to 5 people per band, so that's 20 to 25 people all at one time that I'm meeting, and I don't remember any of their names ever.
Yeah.
But if they have a really awesome guitar or a really cool drum set or something just like bizarre or cool or wacky, I'll remember them. But I just won't remember a name. I tell everybody that all the time. I say, don't get offended by it, because I don't remember anybody's name. It's not like I'm just not remembering your name. I don't remember anybody's name unless I've been around them a long time. That I have a tendency to remember who they are and stuff.
Are we getting extra background noise today?
Are you hearing something?
Maybe I just hear it more now than I did before. Maybe I'm just self-conscious. I don't know. Sometimes there's things, they will start to. I'm not very consistent all the time with things.
I might be picking up the fan on your computer.
It might be. I think that I didn't have this ear on before.
Oh, but now you can hear. Now that you have both ears on.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you noticed, but I had posted a link to YouTube on your Facebook on the thread you made about General Hospital. You talked about General Hospital last week, and you posted it on Facebook, and so I went back and I left a link there to the beginning of that, because it's all on YouTube.
Yep.
The entire Ice Princess saga is there on YouTube, and you can watch it. I also did a little more just peripheral, like digging around. Jeannie Francis is the actress name who played Laura in General Hospital. She's actually married to Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I believe that they got married a long time ago and have been married forever, for as far as I can tell.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. He always seemed like a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
He really did. So that's nice. And anything else too exciting? I did try to watch a little bit of that. Didn't get far, but I was intrigued. Like, just some of the filming, the way that it was filmed at a certain point, like, because they're actually outdoors. They're outdoors on a shore and gonna like try and escape from this boat or something. And I was like, oh, this it was just like a little raw for a sitcom, for a soap opera. I mean, and I was like, oh, this is kind of great. No wonder that people were so into it, because it started to become like a 70s movie. Yeah, it's understandable. And that guy Luke Anthony Geary, coked to the gills.
Just
like
yeah. Here, do another line.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
See, I think that part of the problem is that my computer's a little worked up, and so I'm hearing it be worked up. It's like, why are you working so hard, computer? Just relax.
Yeah, chill out. It's okay.
Oh, take a breath.
Take a breath. Breathe.
It's like, is it thinking about too many things? No. Try not to work it too hard. Not doing much more than I usually do. What's this guy mean? We're downloading something? What's going on, Chris?
I have no idea. Maybe the room mic's hotter than it normally is, so it's just picking it up.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe there's other sounds that I'm hearing. Maybe I'm tripping out, man. See, it went away. That wasn't me or the computer. That was an external source making a hum in the world. Could have been a train. Could have been... It's gone now. You don't have to listen for it. You're not going to find
I
it.
can still hear it.
No, you can't because it's gone. There's a different thing. I'm talking about a different thing.
Oh, okay.
There was
okay.
a different thing outside of what's going on now. What's going on now is still going on. I'm not talking about that.
I hear the fan on the computer.
Yeah.
That's
There
what
was
I'm
something outside of that, and I thought my computer was going into overdrive, going, but it was like maybe a train or a machine
doing. Yeah.
or something.
Car, truck driving by, big truck driving by. Or...
People at home are going to think I'm coked to the gills. All right. Well, now that we're mellow again, everything's under control.
It's all right. Yeah.
When I was a child, I was not a stoner. I didn't get stoned. Now, it was something that, you'd pick up on in songs and stuff like that. It was inevitable that you'd come across something in music. One took over the line. There's just little things in music. So, I heard a song once, and I was like, oh, I need to have this song, because that's the kind of kid I was. And I would remember songs for a long time, and so when I started to collect songs and find the songs that I wanted from throughout my life up to that point, like, I'd go out and seek them out. So there was one in particular that I had heard just once or twice in the 70s, and so in the early 80s I started going to try and find it. And a lot of times in life, you have very little to go on, especially before the age of the internet. Finding songs weren't easy. And so I try and ask people about it, and people are like, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. That's also very common when you're trying to look for a song. You don't know what it is. And so in retrospect, like at our age, it's very easy to identify this song. But at the time, I had no base of reference. I wouldn't know. I didn't know whose voice was whose. And I was also recalling a memory. And all my memory was kind of a melody and the words of this song.
Oh.
And the words of the song were about doing drugs, which was a hard thing also to try and approach my parents or adults about. I was like, I'm looking for this song. It's all about doing drugs. Whole song. It's about doing drugs. And
He's like, here's the episode of Sesame Street. Go watch that.
yeah, because this was I was obsessing over it, and I needed to find ways of wording it, and anyway, and so I don't know if even maybe they were trying to discourage me from it in the first place, but I needed to have it, and inevitably, I started to come to the conclusion that maybe this was like Cheech and Chong, because I had started to become aware of them and what they did, but I hadn't really tapped into them yet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't smoke or do drugs, so I didn't have any kind of base of reference for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just started to think, well, it must kind of be them based on the sense of humor and what I got from it. So I even went as far as to buy Cheech and Chong record. and like Big Bamboo. I decided that must be the one because I used to just comb records looking for like something that would identify with the song. It's like I used to do this with Led Zeppelin because I used to buy Led Zeppelin records based on the songs that I wanted most, and I'd go, which was frustrating because not all Led Zeppelin records told you what songs were on.
I know.
Ooh, they didn't. Some of them came with a sticker that said, "Oh, this album has these hits," or it has this listing, but not all of them did. Super frustrating because it made me buy a couple of Led Zeppelin records in an order that I wouldn't want. Yeah, and I had to just eat it like for weeks until I could afford the next record. Boy, that was troublesome. So this was one of those situations where I like had my week of record. I get to buy a record, and the record I chose was this Cheech and Chong record that I settled on that was not music at all. So my first impression of Cheech and Chong was disappointment because it wasn't what I wanted. And it was a very first skit was like dogs sniffing butts. I was like, what the fuck did I get, man? Oh, I'm pissed. So pissed. I was even more pissed ultimately because the song that I was looking for was Ringo Starr.
Oh, shit.
The No 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 song. No 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 No, I don't no more. I'm tired of waking up on the floor. No thank you please, it only makes me sneeze, and then it makes it hard to find the door. That song. That's the song I was looking for. And I was sure it was Cheech and Chong. The song's all about, once I met this woman, came from somewhere in Spain, said something, anyway, he meets all these people, they introduce him to drugs, he says, oh, no, I don't do that anymore. Thanks, thank you. But no, and yet he ends up doing it, and it's a great song. And it's a really revealing song, honestly, for the times and the people that they were partying with and all the whole scene, the rock and roll scene. Nonetheless, it took me a while to figure it out and find it. And it was a big frustration that, like, that's what it was. It's like, because also when you're looking for something like that and are satisfied with it, but you're also hoping it could tap into a whole realm of other greatness. Sure, it tapped into Ringo, but I was already very aware of Ringo. I just didn't have a lot of his solo records. Yeah. But this sort of thing, this would go on, like, it goes on with other people too, even still. People hear songs like, who's that song? And you can't always easily identify it. There was a kid in junior high. His parents had been in the army, or his dad was in the army, and they were stationed in Germany, so he had lived in Germany and had listened to this German broadcast, rock and roll station that they had there off the base. And they had this intro to their daily radio program with a guitar riff from a song, and the kid was aware that it was from a rock song, but he wasn't sure what. And he would try to like mouth this riff to me all the time, and he was like, he would always tell me, dude, I know you know it, and I know you might even have it in your stuff. And I ended up knowing the kid for like 2 years before we figured this song out, and it randomly came on KISW, and it was just Welcome to the Machine by Pink Floyd. Oh, okay. But the riff started playing, and the kid sprung a fucking, oh, that's it! That's the song! That's the song! And I was like, Welcome to the Machine by Pink Floyd is the song you've been looking for 2 years and not been able to find? Dude, I got this tape right here. Here's the tape. You can have the tape because I've got the album. But he was like...
You got like 5 different versions on different formats.
I had at least 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it's a good record. Wish you were here. It's a really good record. Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
It is, and it is and isn't. Because he, at the same time, he was so frustrated with me for not figuring it out, that it was that obvious, and that I had it laying there that time, and I didn't identify it. I just really let him down, Yeah.
He doesn't realize that you know a lot of music, so it's kind of, it's not necessarily that easy. You need to give him more than just a, hey, it's this.
Well, we were young. Yeah. So while even at that age, I did know a lot of music. I did. When I was like in my early
But I'm
teams,
sure that
but-
if he actually knew some of the lyrics and sang some of the lyrics
Yeah.
the way they were, you would have figured it out.
Well, that was the problem, is that they were only playing the instrumental portion of the song on this intro of the show that he was referring to.
Oh, okay.
He didn't ever have the placing of the words with the music, and
gotcha.
also and I can take that for granted because even at an early age I was immersing into records. Like I was like sitting down with headphones on, listening to the whole record and over and over and over again. And I was also then moving on to the next record. Now I would digest records fairly quickly and then also return to the ones that I liked. But I accumulated a big collection pretty quick, and I spent a lot of time with my ear to a speaker, just fucking listening to shit, like, and even do still. But it's way more casual now.
Do you remember my room on 144th? How I had my stereo hooked up. I had like 7 different speakers. They're all totally different speakers wired all together all over the place.
Yeah.
I had car speakers, house speakers, and whatever. Any type of speakers. I had headphones I was using as speakers and shit.
It's funny because I was not ever that technical or technically savvy, but I did always have devices, and I was less into going that extra mile and doing surround sound or things like that. It was always pretty straightforward, plug and play. If I can just plug these things in, or like just the basics, and that's basically all I ever did.
I never really did too much of surround sound because I didn't really know of any music or whatever that was surround sound. It's usually like movies that were surround sound.
There's a few that are really great.
Yeah, there
like
is
Moody
some
Blues.
that
Moody
Yep.
Blues was great for that.
Yep. Some of them were like 5.0. So
Quadraphonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how long the segment's been.
I have no idea. Well, let's see what total time is.
Total time.
Total time is 1 hour.
Oh, 1 hour. I think we gotta go back to songs.
Yes.
It's gotta happen. It's gonna happen. It's happening right now.
Right now.
We're back at songs.
1, 2, 3, songs.
You ever get that feeling you don't want to stick around for? Think you're dreaming when your mom tells you to run. I know you get that feeling, and I've got it too. I'm just not sure what to do. Maybe I'll run away, join a circus in Miami, or I'll choose to stay. And I'll pick up the guitar. Can I do the both? Maybe neither is the way. And I'm just not sure what to say. Forget me not, I'm leaving. I'm walking out the door, you'll never see me again. I'm moving on, I can't stay here. I'm gone, I'm not coming back. Forget me not, I'm leaving. I'm walking out the door, you'll never see me again. I'm moving on, I can't stay here. I'm gone, I'm not coming back. Don't need to slow down, take a breath and just relax. Or is it impulse that'll carry me all the way? Should I build a new life or fall to the ground? How can we be sure that we are not going crazy when we're unsure when to stay and when to run? Can we know if we're understood? Can we ever really know?
thing that I found in all of my travels was that all of the Africans, not only the Africans, but the Asians and the Muslims, look upon us as their long-lost brothers.
What you want? What you need? PRV, we in the building. Turn up 200 degrees. Where you from? You from the West Coast or from the East? Only matters that you here, so keep the peace and keep it cheap. Manifested in my mind. Manifested in my mind. Hold it in my head. Hold it in my head. Manifested in my mind. Manifested in my mind. Hold it in my head. Hold it in my head. Let go.
Wake up in the morning, love. Laboring, your time is run out. One of a kind, made a similar image and ready to shine. Now here we are, front and center. We're buried, no fear, we live forever. Oh yeah, don't cry now and find out it's all for someone else. Yeah, we are the breakers of chains that hold you to your regrets. Yeah.
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot that were hung on the spot and shot. Only cause money makes power, don't have it, you not. Don't give a fuck what you got, meaning you are not important. Land of the free, only if you can afford it. Grind till you shine with the rhymes and then record it. Win in every race because we move like tortoise, patient. Stayed out the matrix to guide you away from the matrix. 2 words, brick walls, pitfalls, yeah. This is the battle of Ilium, sealing coffins off and never disregarding any single target. Ghost rider, driver, drip before we park at 360 at the wheel in a foreign hard rock style. Unleash Godzilla, beast on King Kong, go gorilla. Whisper, lights, camera, action, play and make it, take it on a nigga, blow a gas when I pass him. East Coast lyrical assassin, so don't write checks if your ass can't cash them. No recycle, just trash them. Every track though I'm spazzing, feel the connection, everlasting, nasty with it. Blast from the past, think I must never my half, yeah, they ass, you get it. Shaolin style effective. See the world from the stage of the clouds perspective. I'm restless but well rested, sword tested, sharpened, blade shine bright, light up the dark and strike like lightning. One swipe, another fight, and leave only peace for the meat, the rest sliced thin. Yeah.
Only matters that you're here, so keep the peace and keep it. They manifested in my mind. Manifested in my mind. Hold it in my hand. Hold it in my hand. I manifested in my mind. Manifested in my mind. And hold it in my hand. Hold it in my
When you wake up in the morning, do you ever ask yourself, what is it that I am building? Is my time worth all my wealth? I want what's seen in my dreams, wanted what's more than just my health. Decided to be defiant, now I live just for myself. Now we get the north side with the doors wide. We be killing them, won't die, no I won't. I'm catty cleaning them. North side with the doors wide. We be killing them, won't die, no I won't. I'm catty cleaning them.
north side with the doors wide. We be killing. Dressed for nowhere, words have found their dark, crowding understanding. Dressed for nowhere, cleverly disguised. We do not recognize ourselves. I still will remembering. I still will remembering. Dressed for nowhere, sword to the possibility. I stir with remembering. I stir with remembering. I stir with remembering. You midnight eyes, you dreamless sleep. Your words have frozen, eager to depart, dressed for nowhere. Sunlight snakes my stare. Water mirrors, dressed for nowhere. Everything in time. Time steals. I stir with remembering. I stir with remembering. I stir with remembering. Just for nowhere.
Watch it all come undone. Might not know weather. Flags have already been spun. Might burn all the children. That's all we care about our guns. Dismiss all the poor and the hungry. Take till it's gone. Soon tomorrow. Yeah, we're looking out for these miles someone who's alive us while we pretend to choose successes. What they said would never serve her. Now we know it's just a spot in the sun. Sit down. Let's watch it all come undone. It seems like we're living too much now. Let it be a white ass now. Forget about all of the old ones. Every time in the
We should start being more prepared and know that my camera is going to go out after 2. Yours will get the whole thing, but yours also records in different increments than mine.
This is weird.
I don't know if they're set differently or something, because I did at one point ask you to set yours like mine, but I'm actually glad that you did not, or that it at least records in larger increments, because the larger increments are easier to deal with, actually. For some reason,
I think I reset it, didn't I? On mine?
I don't know. Yours always come in smaller chunks. That's all I know. And so I don't know if you've got it also recording at a higher quality than mine, which is possible. But yours records for longer, but then my battery might be dead. So all these different
there's a bunch of weird
disparities.
factors
Yeah,
in
we
there,
don't know. This is all mumbo jumbo that the audience hates. This is the part that they hate as much as you're coughing into the
I know.
microphone. They hate me talking about the stupid stuff that they can't see or deal with at all. This has nothing to do with anything. Here's some exciting news. Have you been following all of the news coming out of D23, the Disney convention? You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, not yet.
There's a couple events in the year where a lot of information is thrown at the world, and especially information about entertainment stuff that you love. And Comic-Con in San Diego is one of those things, and D23, which I think is in LA, Disneyland maybe, I don't know. But D23 is the Disney convention, which all of the Disney and things under their umbrella, they have a lot of announcements of things that they do. So both of these have a lot to do with Disney and their sub properties, because one, the Disney streaming service comes out in November.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian comes with that.
Yep.
Which is going to be a weekly show. They showed some previews of this. People are super excited about it. It's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Everyone loves it. It's the cat's pajamas. There was many announcements of other Marvel shows. There's going to be so many Marvel shows. Like, so many. And they all are like the comics. Now, ultimately, the more I hear about it and the more I understand, and I have a good understanding, a good grasp of what's going on, I'm pretty much out on Marvel. It's going to be good. It's going to be quality. They're going to continue to give people quality stuff, but they have completely embraced and became everything that is wrong with comics to me. They've now brought that into the cinematic universe and their television universe. It's going to be filled with tons of great stuff. I just don't got time for that.
No.
I don't. Especially what ifs. Like, what if this happened and then this... What if Captain America never became Captain America and it was the lady who became Captain America instead, and Captain America just became Iron Man but 30 years earlier? And this is going to be a show. There's going to be a show. Actually, that might be a cartoon, though. So that is the thing. Some of these things are going to be cartoons. Some of them are going to be live action, real shows. But they're all going to be integrating into this whole thing. But some of them are going to be parallel universes and alternate dimensions and not real. And it's just like, oh, geez. Again, this is why I'm out on comics. It's like,
it's too much to,
yeah. It is. It is too much. I don't need. There's even more. Like good and bad stuff. Like Spider-Man is no longer
part of the MCU.
Apparently. Now we'll see, because there's a big outcry and backlash against that, and this could all be strategy to get them to be able to wrangle that back into their fold. But that's what they're telling us. Again, I'm already out before that happens, because I don't need to spread my time or money that much farther. I'm going to get the Disney streaming service and watch what I want to watch on it for a while. And that's it. Like, and I will probably be out on it before they raise their prices. Like, that would be my intent, because
I'll probably do the same thing.
I have no intention of getting and with all the different streaming services and with all the different stuff, if you want all that stuff, it's just like cable, and why would you want cable when everyone was so big about getting rid of cable and moving towards streaming? And why couldn't they see that right at the beginning, that you can't get everything you want from one streaming service? HBO's not going to give up their shit, or they're just going to dole it out to people gradually, but they're still going to retain their stuff. HBO kind of does it smart, because HBO does dole their stuff out a little bit to other places. I can see Flight of the Conchords on Amazon right now, and even if I wanted Curb Your Enthusiasm or something like that, so that's cool. Yeah. And I'm trying Amazon right now because I had the Prime to order a couple of things on the for like cords and different batteries and just things. So it was very convenient to do that, and with that comes that both the streaming television, audio, video, whatever thing, the shows, just like Netflix, they have their own kind of thing. And they also have music, a streaming music service. I've not really used the streaming music service too much, but I have a little, and it's a thing. It's there. Huh. So just, if I'm already paying for it, and if it's super economical, then I will tinker with it once in a while, and maybe it'll become more integrated in my life. But I'm not too married or attached to any of these things. They just come and go with me. Yeah. And most of them suck. Like, I've listened to Pandora. Pandora's horrible. So many commercials.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Spotify, I don't think I would want to pay for Spotify. It just doesn't seem like, first of all, not everything is on Spotify. And it's not actually the best way for artists to get money. They're not getting their worth. And there's really no real way of tracking that in any kind of authentic way. And I've just heard a lot of behind the scenes things of people really, really down on this service. So sure, it's a way for people to get their music heard and get a few dollars, but it's not necessarily the best way. If it's the only way, I could see that, but I just don't think it's the only way. And I just see reputable people who don't use it, and I wonder why. And why won't they use it? What do they know? What's up?
Got a point there. What do they know?
See, some people are just very open and cool with things. It's just, it really depends on who you are and what you want. And some people are open to certain potential exploitation, or will find a tolerance level for certain things. It's like, yeah, sure, I'm going to lose X amount, but I'm going to get X amount of exposure. And regardless of what anyone says, exposure is a thing. Like, it is. And I don't really know where I could go a couple different directions with that. And I don't want to go either of them. So I'm going to finish this.
All right, you do that.
You can talk about things sometimes.
Well, I got this crazy wiener dog.
I know.
Not a wiener dog. It's actually a Dachshund Chihuahua mix. So, yeah. She's just like a Chihuahua, but a little bit taller and a little bit longer, but not like wiener dog length, but just a little bit longer than a
So is it a Chowhound or a Dashawa?
I don't know. Dashawa sounds good.
Dashawa sounds
I have a
exotic.
Dashawa.
But it's probably a Chowhound.
Yeah.
You got a Chowhound. Chihuahua-hound. Chihuahua-hound.
I just know that she's extremely fast. When she's running, she's a freaking quick little fucking
You're
dog.
pretty slow, too.
And I know, yeah. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge sometimes. Yeah, but she's a great dog and stuff.
Yeah, being your dog would be great. Oh, this dude's never going to catch me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But she does know the basics and stuff. So she does have an issue with she'll go out, she'll go pee, but then she'll wander around and then she'll poop. But if you call her back in and she has to go poop, she'll try to tell you, but if you don't catch on to it immediately, it's a mess in the house somewhere. That's something that we're dealing with, trying to get her or figure out how to identify with her better. Because usually when I take her out, I just let her do both.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes that just doesn't happen. Sometimes sometimes she comes in, because sometimes I'll be doing two things at the same time, so I just don't realize it and shit. But yeah.
Back in the old days when we used to smoke cigarettes, that was perfect timing. It's like, oh, dog needs to fucking go poop. I get another cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll take the dog. Let's go.
Now I don't smoke cigarettes, so yeah.
So you see Limberlost last week?
Yep. Well, that was pretty cool. Right in the middle of the street up on South Hill. It's kind of neat.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like right in this the new complex. There's a Target down there by kind of by Thunfield.
Uh-huh.
And it's a new complex area and shit. And it was just like right in the middle of that. There's like a Mod Pizza and some other stuff.
So I could be completely wrong. Thunfield's kind of close to the dump.
Yeah. So it's
past
before
Jim Heights.
Before Thunfield. Yep.
Past 176th. Past 176th, which is Jim
Where I
Heights.
was at. No, it was probably.
No, sorry. Past 152nd.
Yeah, I think it was about 150. Might have been about 152nd, which was. It's called Sunrise Estates or something like that. Sunrise or something like that. Sunrise Landing. I don't know, something. Sunrise something or other.
So the dump is past that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's past 176. It's like about 150th-ish. Kind of by where there's that Bob's Burgers and...
It's been a long time since I've been down that far on that road.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally different. When you go there now, you go, well, okay.
It'd be fun to check it out. Yeah, I used to walk that street quite a bit.
Some of the back streets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you did it again.
Huh?
That was a loud cough.
All right.
It's okay. I'll try to be more mindful too about
Yep.
muting them out. I got really lazy about it, but I will try to get on that again.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to walk the length of Meridian quite often, and in fact, there were times when I would walk from South Hill to Edgewood, and different. I've made all kinds of crazy walks before. I've walked from Tacoma to South Hill.
I was talking the other day to Ashley about that time when Nathan broke his leg.
Uh-huh.
And we decided to go downtown, and it just snowed. And so he was on crutches, and I was on my bike. We were going downtown to party somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The things we would do.
Well, there was so much less to do in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think about that all the time, like how nice it is.
I didn't even have a pager at that time.
This was way before pagers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was before.
Or at least a little before.
It was before my daughter was born.
Yeah.
So I was like maybe 20, maybe 18, 19. 20,
pagers were just
like
on the scene. Yeah. Rap guys were just starting to rap about them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ever have a pager.
I did. I still have it.
I only have had a handful of phones over the years, but they've become more of a staple.
I still have every phone too.
I do have a lot of the
I
phones
only had
that
like
I've had.
4 or 5 of them though. So I had my very first one, the flip phone.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've only actually in the last year or two started getting rid of extra ones that I had.
They're all broken beyond belief, but I just have them for...
Most of mine still work. Very few of them ever stopped. Same with my computers, actually. Only a couple of those died, and I need to kind of find places for them, those old ones.
I just need to get an operating system for my computer. I
Which
want
kind?
the touch screen.
Yeah.
It's got a touch screen and everything is super nice. A buddy of mine gave it to me and stuff, and it's got an operating system in it, but it's not a full-on legit one that I can actually do everything. So
Yeah.
that's what I need to do. So I need to get a full-on one. And
I've had plenty of hand-me-down computers and hack jobs that people have done for me. Things that people are like, it's kind of just like, your run-of-the-mill mechanic. See, I don't want to say hack mechanic, but some people will do hack jobs out of convenience. Here's the thing. Some mechanics will get really good. And same with computer guys. They'll get really good. And then they'll know what they can get away with. And then they'll tell you what you can get away with. They'll say, hey, we can just do this like this. We can cut a hole here and we can put this wire through this hole. And then you can just do this and it'll work like your thing used to work. It's just different, but it'll work fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no longer stock. And, and it's going to be harder for someone who knows what they're looking at to just look at this and understand. So if you take that to a shop, that might cause a problem.
Yeah.
But this will work great for you. Mm-hmm. And people will always tell you that. And ultimately, that's a hack job. Like, that's like, okay, I get it, and they're right, but that's not what I want nor need. I need it actually to be right in case I have to take it to someone who can look at it. Like, it's really integral. And it's integral for me and my understanding, too, that it's done right. So that I always know that it's done right, and I don't have to retain this extra information that this one thing isn't done right. In case someone else needs, what if I pass out? What if I have faint and someone has to drive my car, and then they don't know that you've done this crazy thing? Any number of things are possible. And yeah, that's an unlikely scenario, sure, but we're not talking about anything but the fact that I need it to be right. So. And the same thing goes with computers. People have done this with computers for me. They've given me, okay, so this is an operating system, but it's like, it's a hacked operating system. So, every once in a while this little thing will pop up. You just never click that other thing. You just always click this thing, and you never do this, and you never answer this question yes. You always answer it no. Also, like I'll have a problem with a computer, for instance, and someone will put a different operating system on there. And it's like, well, there's a little emblem on this, not this one, but it's happened before. There's an emblem on this that says it was like made with so-and-so Windows, specifically. And then I'm trying to use this newer Windows that's like 2 or 3 generations newer, and my computer keeps crashing. Why does my computer keep crashing now? It's because it's not capable of using that operating system. There's something in it that's just not allowing it. It's not capable of processing things because it's too advanced.
Not enough RAM or not enough this or that. Or,
Yeah, the motherboard wasn't built for that. It's not capable of it. It's going to not. It's going.
It doesn't have this driver space or blah blah blah.
Yep. It's Yep. Those particular drivers are not compatible with that motherboard or this operating system or these things or do. And so ever since I got a computer that works right, like a brand new computer with an operating system, and it works right, it'll have some occasional problems, but it's been a great computer. I wore the battery out, but since I got the battery, it's ran pretty good. I've had far less problems.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a touch screen?
It is, but I don't use that.
Oh.
Yeah. I've not ever used it.
Because mine is too, and I find it to be troublesome. I forget, but then I noticed that when I was trying to play with that and stuff, I would go to my other computer, and then I would start touching the screen. I'd start hitting it harder, thinking that it wasn't working right, and then I'd go, "Oh yeah."
That's reason number one why I don't use my touch. That's literally reason number one. Because once with a previous computer, Cody walked up to a previous computer, started jabbing my screen, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "I thought it was a touch screen." I said, "No, it's not. And even if it was, I wouldn't use it for exactly that reason, because you're jabbing my screen, and I don't want to jab my screen. I don't want to think it's not on and jab my screen. And I know me that I'll jab a hole right through that thing. So
Yep.
I'm not even going to start. I know myself well enough. I know computers well enough. I know that I don't trust the technology. I don't like the technology in the first place. If it was a like, it took me a while, for instance, to even overcome the whole phone thing because of that, and I didn't want to touch that. And also, like, what people don't understand is it's dirty. Like, if you, like, I see the smudges on the thing all the time, so I want to clean it off. And same with the phone, but like, we're touching things all the time, and so our phone gets dirty, and we need to clean our phones all the time. It's a good thing to do. I don't do it enough, and I want to do it more. I want to do it all the time. It's good. It's healthy. I'm not a germaphobe. It's just I live on the streets where it's wild and it's rough, and you just gotta clean your phone more. And that's all.
I gotcha. Lysol that shit.
Yep.
Carry around baby wipes or handy wipes or something.
I'm getting anxious. Like, we need to move the show along. Have we talked long enough?
I don't know. You want me to look at the time? And
Time
see
isn't
what
going to tell
says?
me anything at this point. I'm so lost in the minutes.
I did. Well, it would help me. I'd be able to.
Well, it's probably going to say it's been an hour and 50 minutes.
Hour and 40 minutes.
Well, excuse me.
See how much you know?
Well, then we can talk for another 10 minutes. Actually, that's not the case. I don't know. I know that on the last show,
Because it was an hour. It was out an hour, and then you played some music,
and then we talked.
and then we talked up till now.
So it's definitely time to go back.
So it's definitely time to go back.
No, it's
to
not
music,
definitely.
I think.
We could have had a 20. It is definitely.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty. 'Cause
You're right, Chris.
We at least had a 20-minute
right.
talk spell, if not a little bit longer.
I'm trying to argue with you when I know, in fact, that you're right.
No,
And I knew it in the first place.
that's why I look at the numbers.
Okay.
Right, and I can pee.
Yep, you can pee now.
You've taken every mirror from your house for fear that you might see yourself. But introspection's the only reflection you're trying to avoid. I don't care what you might say. just as lost as you, but I have no fear as long as I remember just who I am. I just want you to know, but I won't give
It's a beautiful feeling to know I got no limits. When I'm striving to achieve, I got the right logistics. I astray to be different, cause these others are timid. Stuck in their patterns in life, all their problems are graded. But I'ma keep on pushing with the work mode. Better myself or my family that the first chose. Shaking off dust from my dirt clothes. All of the fakes in my life, get the curtains closed. Yeah, that's the end of the act, regardless of who spoke. Blah, pull the knife from my back and put it to my carotid. Now I'm cutthroat. I was pushed in the deep end, realizing that I can flow. Hurt bridges from bullshit and now I'm rising up out the smoke. Refuse defeat, steadily climbing up every peak. For the world to see, a king from what I used to be. They say I'm selfish, conceited the way that I display. But they didn't mold me from back in the day when I was clay. And they didn't suffer through those nights when I had to pray to better my situation. I earned the fucking right to say I know that I was born to be a motherfucking legend with importance. So every day I wake, there's greatness that awaits. And I'ma keep running till my fucking legs break. I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it. I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it. Societal desolation, focused on my own succession. Cause every day I'm regretting all these years I've recessed in. Took time to assess it, it's all a hidden blessing. I've managed through depression and still chasing my incentives. Cause when you come from rock bottom, you let go of the fear. Standing facing your problems until they disappear. And I'm here, still taking these days with a grain of salt, until I answer to my call and bury me under the asphalt. Work hard, no play. So when I get where I wanna be, my budget is decent pay. Live, dream, goals made. So when my daughters have babies, they'll tell them I am the highest grade. Work hard, no play. So when I get where I wanna be, my budget is decent pay. Live, dream, goals descended. So when I get about this bitch, they'll tell them that I was a legend. I know that I was born to be a motherfucking legend with importance. So every day I wake, there's greatness that awaits. And I'ma keep running till my fucking legs break. I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it. I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it, I'ma go and get it. Hey! A legend in my own world. Fuck society. Yeah.
We're back. We just heard more songs. That was nice right there. That was a song called Horses by Lenu. Lenu? Is that how you would pronounce that, Chris? Lenu? How would you pronounce that?
Lenu.
Lenu?
Lenu.
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 It's like Lenny, but it's got a U instead of the NY that would make it knee on the Lenny. It's not Lenny, it's Lenu. We'll say Lenu.
Lenu.
Yep. Horses. That's what we heard. For that, we heard Legend by A-Bomb. A-B-O-M. I guess that's how you say that. Why is it so hard to pronounce 4-letter words?
I have no idea.
A-B-O-M. A-Bomb. And before we heard that, we heard Mind Traveler, Falconer by Power Metal. MH. MH. MH is what they are. It's, some digital fun by MH.
Oh, that was that Mario music that we were listening to.
More, like you said before, Zelda. It's more
Zelda,
in the
yes,
Zelda
yes.
vein, but epic Zelda. Like if Zelda was fighting fucking Mongolians and shit, like hordes of Mongolians, that's what that was like there. And then before all that, we started it all off with, I took the glasses off, can't see now, Cave Eyes radio edit by Little Fanfare. The Fireside Demos. There you go, people. That was the third set of music, and now we're here in our final segment of the show. We've made it, Chris. We've made it to the final segment of the show.
did.
It's all, we can just bullshit our way through this. We don't need to even, and we're basically done. Episode 45, as long as we don't ruin the recording. Woo!
Woo!
Yep.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Come on, people. Don't fuck it up. Yeah, we're doing all right.
Got to be careful what you chant in case there are kids listening. I mean,
that's true.
Like, the parents should know by now that if they're listening to this with their kids, that their kids may grow up to be pot smokers and listen to a lot of music, but and curse more than they should.
At least they won't be assholes.
They might. This is subjective, because to some people we're fucking assholes. You just are. I know that to someone you are. To someone you are. You don't have to do anything. You just walk into the room and it's a fucking asshole. It's one of these assholes again. He's got long hair. He's one of those long-haired assholes.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. You could be that. You could be a pot-smoking asshole. You could be one of those pot-smoking assholes. The marijuana users.
You pothead. Injecting the marijuanas.
You could be a van-driving asshole. One of those assholes who drive vans. Fucking what kind of guy
I don't
drives a
park
van?
by the river, so fuck. Come on.
There's nothing wrong with that. Depends on what you're doing by the river. Maybe you're going fishing.
I don't have a free candy sticker on the side.
Guys who have bands also go fishing.
I almost want to put a sticker. I almost want to get a license plate frame that says, "For the last time, there's no fucking candy in my van." No free candy. You must pay for that shit.
So,
Yep, so I got no bands this coming weekend.
you got a whole weekend off?
Yeah.
A whole weekend
Yep.
off.
Well, it's Labor Day weekend, so nothing's going
Wow.
on. So yeah.
It would seem like that would be a time for things to be going on. But what else is going on? What do people do on Labor Day weekends?
Camping,
Barbecues?
a lot of barbecues
camping?
and camping and stuff, outdoors and shit.
I see. Interesting.
So yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't quite figure that. I think I don't know if it's this Sunday that I Defy is doing something, so I might go check that out.
Was that right?
Yeah, I think it's Jason's birthday. It's like a party. Or something.
They've got a brand new lineup.
Oh.
Not exactly sure what happened with the old lineup, which was really great, but the new lineup is probably great also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
Somewhere in Tacoma on Sunday.
I know I'm busy most of the week, and we'll be editing this show and maybe a second show because we're having a special guest come in the studio, Rappin' Zach, which that show may air before this show, in which case this would be redundant. But this show will probably air before that show, actually. Just because of continuity. For the sake of continuity.
It is the first at Puget Sound Pizza.
PSP, Puget Sound Pizza. Yeah, well, there's those practice pads that are right below there.
Oh, there is.
That under the car shop, right?
I don't know where this is.
You know where
Puget Sound
the
Pizza.
car, the LeMay car
Yeah.
place is, and there's
Yeah.
the practice pads that are under them.
I didn't know there was practice.
They
pads
have been there for a long time, actually.
at the museum.
Under it.
Under the museum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not the museum. Is it a museum, or is that what it is? Down there on St. Helens and like 6th.
Oh, St. Helens. Oh, that's something different. That's more of you could buy them there.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the
that's
the
right
actual
there.
museum.
Right there. That's right there.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about down here on St. Helens, and where Puget Sound Pizza is, because they're in the same neighborhood,
All right.
on the same block.
Gotcha.
And that may even be where they practice. So,
Gotcha.
this show will not be out before then. This show will be out after that.
Yes.
I guess that this is it's a Labor Day delay. We're on the Labor Day delay. This show will be coming out, I guess, on Labor Day. Unfortunately for some people who expect it on Fridays, but we'll let people sweat it out.
So we hope you survived Labor Day.
Our 25 fans who like die for the show to come out on time will be dying all weekend. Be like, where's my fix? Where's my episode?
Yeah.
You guys have let me down.
I know.
You've done it. You've let me down after all these months and a year, almost a whole year. Now you've finally done it. You've let me down, dudes.
We have.
Actually, we might have done this before. It doesn't matter.
I think we have done it before. Yeah, there's a reason for it before.
Sometimes there's reasons for things. You
People
know,
survive.
Yeah,
People
if
have
you-
learned to adjust.
if you've
this
listened
world's
to
been
this
crazy.
far into the show, then you understand that there's reasons for things, and
Yeah.
that they're just complicated reasons, and we all can't control all the reasons. There's things that happen in life.
This ain't Milli Vanilli, damn it.
That's right, because one of them is dead. It can never be Milli Vanilli ever
Well,
again.
Milli Vanilli was 4 people.
Well,
2 guys and 2 girls.
I only ever knew the 2 guys, the 2 front men.
Well,
Stig and Uter, or whatever
Yeah.
their name was.
Are you talking about the guys that dressed the part or the guys that actually sang it?
Listen, the 2 dudes who came out there and represented, that's Milli Vanilli, right? I don't know who the fuck those charlatans are that are claiming otherwise. These people who are behind the scenes.
Have you heard them actually sing?
Yes.
It is so bad.
Listen,
It's not even close.
well, you want the other guy to
it.
kill himself too? Dude,
What?
get off his back, man. Like, all right, they did fine. They were fine. They were great dancers. They were very enthusiastic. They were physically fit.
And that's it.
They look great in spandex, man.
Yeah,
They could have been a wrestling tag team.
They could have.
If only the dude would have just hung in there, they could have made a play at the WWE tag team titles, right?
They could have.
Yep, they would have been
Okay.
great. High flyers. They would have been competing with the Hardy Boys and Christian and Edge and the Dudley Brothers.
They could have been slammed by Hulk Hogan.
They weren't really in that league. That was a
Well,
different
Hulk
league.
Hogan would have came back.
See,
He would have
Hogan was fighting for
infiltrated.
the title,
He would have
the main event.
infiltrated.
He was a main event. We're talking about mid card, the tag team titles.
Yeah.
You know, they probably would have just. Once in a while, you'll get main eventers in these kind of tag teams. You know, like they did with Mankind and The Rock
Yeah.
and Sock connection. Ashley would know what I'm talking about. The Rock, ask her. You go home and ask Ashley. Tell me about the Rock and Sock connection. And let me tell you, she'll be all over you, buddy. Because the Rock and Sock connection was the shit. It's one of the few times that they manufactured a tag team out of superstars that was just so phenomenal. Because they were both at their peak of entertainment at that point. The Rock was really funny. He was such a charismatic force in the wrestling ring, with on the mic and off. He was literally electrifying to watch, and so it was great. And it was just his delivery and mannerisms were so funny. He was just a fucking funny guy. He really legitimately is. Yep. So Rock and Sock Connection. Go watch some old matches.
I'll screw that.
They actually had a falling out, unfortunately, because Mankind, who was a sensitive brute, he wrote a book called Have a Nice Day, which is a great book. It's a great book. It's a great book that you would love to read. Actually, if you sat down and read it, you would go, oh, okay, it is a great book, and I get it. Because it's not just about wrestling, but it's all about wrestling. And it gives you an insight into wrestling in a way that you would really dig. Because it's a guy who's conveying it for what it is, and he's really looking at it very frankly. And some of the stuff that goes on there, how, it's not all the best, but it is what it is. And he was very hardcore. Like, he starts off telling the story about how he gets his ear ripped off in Germany, and has some other great stuff. But anyway, so in this particular scene in the late 90s, he had wrote a book called Have a Nice Day, and he gives The Rock a copy of his book, and The Rock just like throws it in the trash when he's not looking. And then Mankind later comes along to find his book in the trash, and he's upset. And he's been rejected, and this rejection leads to the end of the Rock and Sock connection. Unfortunately, because they were really good, they were fun, but it was not meant to be.
Yeah.
It was is what it is. Wrestling's fake, Chris.
I know.
It's all manufactured. None of it's real, except for the injuries, and the heartache, and the suicides.
Oh, yeah.
Those are all real.
I remember at the Cedarwood, we had
Oh yeah, I remember.
that wrestling where they brought in that ring and set it up on my stage.
I
and
called that
shit.
match. I was like we were sitting there. You were like, I was excited that it was happening, and I came in to witness it. And as it was happening, I was like, we're a third of the way in, and I was like, man, this is kind of missing something. And then and what it was missing was a little TCW because in TCW, one of the things that really kind of made it a very entertaining package was that we had announcers calling the match during the match, like that over the PA, and they were entertaining. And now I was not that. Like, those guys were really good. Rolo, or Laszlo Cucinata, and the Cowboy Nick Gordon. They were the announcers of TCW, and they were fucking fantastic. And I was not as good as that, but I took the opportunity to call that. And I think it was, I forget the which outfit it was. Pacific Northwest Wrestling or something. I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I got to call the match, and it made me want to go on the road with them and call all their matches.
Was that before or after the guy that got his arm dislocated, pulled out a socket?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because the guy got his arm pulled out of socket. And we had to take him downstairs and had to take an ambulance, had to come and get him.
I don't remember.
And then the same night, some guy passed out down there, and my buddy Fitz, who was the tribal police officer.
He's the guy
for
who pulled
them.
me over walking.
Huh?
He's the guy who pulled me over walking.
Really?
Yeah, Fitz, bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, shit. What a dick.
No.
Fitz! Damn it, Fitz!
He was just doing his job.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
If there's a drunk guy walking through your city,
That's
you're
true,
supposed to pull him over walking.
Yeah, but a guy had passed out, and he tried to wake this guy up, and he gave him a sternum rub. You rub him right on the sternum, and that irritates anybody, and it'll wake you up.
Yeah.
It'll wake you up, no matter what. It'll wake you up. And did that, and he cocked back to swing at him, and so he ended up going to jail and shit.
Well, you know.
Yeah. And then, but I remember seeing that guy laying there with his fucking arm was like fucking a couple inches longer than normal and then his shoulder wasn't quite his shoulder. It just looked fucking weird and shit. Oh man, yeah, he was screaming. Oh yeah, he was obviously in pain.
Lame.
Yeah, that was like at the very end after. I think it was like the last thing.
In the short time I had my amateur backyard wrestling career, I saw and experienced plenty of injuries, and it's an injury-prone sport or whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's what people are hoping for. They're hoping for an injury of some sort, and they're just want people to beat the shit out of each other.
Some people are hoping for. Some people, like we discussed before, are there for the spectacle, both either the athleticism or the drama of the soap opera that is being played out there. And it is a lot of those things. Like, it's really a bunch of those things all at once. It is the illusion of sport. It is complete athleticism. And don't for a second ever think that even like some of the like out of shape guys, they're still like being athletic or moving around. They're doing things. Like this is not a
you got to move certain ways to make certain things look real and stuff.
Yeah.
And to make it effective and to make it so you don't get hurt.
Yeah. See, so some of the like, because I even remember in the late 80s and early 90s, I knew a couple like wrestlers on the lower scale of things, and they would be very, because I would say, so I was a kid who watched wrestling and a teenager who had grown out of wrestling and would say, well, wrestling's fake. And these guys would get upset. They didn't want to be told what they did was fake or it to be worded in that way. Because they didn't really want it. More than anything, what they're doing is even harder than some actual competition because they're trying not to do certain things, and they're trying to
give you the illusion of something without hurting themselves,
and
which is difficult.
And
that's
they're also
hard.
very athletic. Some of those dudes without steroids are very athletic. I mean, there's plenty of people on roids too, but that's in all sports these days. There were very athletic dudes who had a lot of pride in what they did, and they didn't want it to be denigrated or put down. And they also did want to continue to convey that illusion that it was real. They're, especially in that time, they really strongly pushed that it's all real. It's like, well, it's not real. There's a scripted
It's choreographed very strategically
sometimes
to give the
loosely.
illusion that people are getting hurt and stuff like that. Which you still get hurt sometimes.
I mean, getting hurt is ultimately inevitable, especially with some of the stuff.
But it's not like getting hurt to the point like, you know, a wrestler, somebody walk up to a wrestler and swinging on them and hitting them and them hitting the ground is totally different than you walk up to some guy on the street and slugging them and them hitting the ground.
Yeah.
That's two totally different scenarios. The two totally different punches, two totally different everything. You know, is totally different. You know, one person actually really got hurt. One person got the illusion of getting hurt.
Well, it's getting to a point now where they're starting to really scrutinize some of the impact-related traumas that these guys are going through. It's becoming a really big deal. And
well, yeah, it's because that football thing, football injuries and stuff.
This is becoming more
brain traumas and stuff like that.
Yeah, and people are becoming more aware of it. Andrew Luck just retired from the Colts, the Colts quarterback. He was the same class as rookie year as Russell Wilson and Andrew Griffith III, and he's out. Like, he's done. He's retired. And I don't blame him. And I honestly, personally feel like there should be a cap on athleticism, like on especially a traumatic sport like football.
Yeah, how long you could play.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, for many reasons. One,
especially depending on your position. I mean, like, obviously a kicker.
Yeah.
They could play for extended period of time. But they also should just keep track of how many head hits.
You know what? They should just, honestly, they should just put a cap on it and let other people play. That's what they should do. Give them a 4 or 5 year cap and let other people play. Fuck it. Because then it reduces the inflation that comes with these vets who've played for 10 or 15 years and think they should deserve so many millions. Fuck that, man. Yeah. No, they don't. And the teams, honestly, should have to be.
It would make it more competitive across the board, too.
It would. It probably would.
Uh-huh.
Get these guys at their peak, and then they would find out. Well, when is an athlete's peak? When's their peak performance? Fine, because that's when they'll then say, okay, then you're going to be drafted at this age and play for this amount of time, and then you're out. But that would be great. That would be great.
Then they could just have like a minor.
Dude, if everyone was just in like their prime, because that's what it would be. Is they would start optimizing everything, and then pretty soon everyone would be playing the peak athletes at their peak performance. Mm-hmm. That could be neat, actually. I haven't thought it through too much.
If they did it that way, we could almost have football year round.
Yeah, we don't need football year round. I'm into seasons and the way that they work. Not necessarily.
But they could be like the intermediate football season, not college, but outside of college, the preseason, pre-football type thing, and then have the prime, and when everybody's at their prime, and then you have the people that still want to do it for fun and do it after the fact.
Yeah.
And then you have the guys that are doing it in wheelchairs and crutches.
Yeah, I don't know how it'll eventually be regulated, but it eventually will become a different thing. And that will change the game drastically. There's people talking about different, like they're trying to change baseball in subtle ways. They've introduced this pitch clock to make pitchers pitch thing within 30 seconds, and
they did that.
Yeah. There's even like in the minor leagues, the very, very minor leagues this year, there was a rule that they tried out that the batter can run on any wild pitch. I guess it's just a rule they're trying out. I forget exactly what it is. I'd have to. I'll look into it more.
So any wild pitch, they could just drop their bat and run?
Maybe. Or maybe, I don't know. It was an interesting rule that wasn't crazy. That sounds a little crazy, so it was not quite that. I'll have to check it out and get back to you. I remember when I heard about it, I texted my buddy.
Well, I think that if the catcher touches the ball, it's a wild pitch, like say it just grazes the mitt, that they should be able to run.
It's something like
that. But
that.
if it's something that if it hits the ground first, that it's a dead ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But I don't have time for that now because the show's over. The show's over.
I know.
It's even more than over. We've probably talked more than enough, or at least just enough, so that I can cut out the story about poop.
All right, good. Let's cut out the poop story.
Oh.
And the talking of it. Oh, is there stuff in the vent again?
No, I just heard crunching. Well, I did hear the vent do something, but I also heard crunching in my ear. And no, I'll leave the part where we talked about it, but I'll cut out the part where we
actually really
discussed
talked about it. All right,
yeah. Because I did that before with Ashley in the herpes story.
Oh.
Which I think is funny. And everyone's always going to wonder about the herpes story and the and whatever the poop story.
Yeah.
And actually, on that note, I've got a whole bunch of like poop stories, like a whole bunch of them. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Not just poopy pants stories, but just really, really great pooping stories. We'll save those for another time, though. We'll fill a whole episode with that. And this is the end of episode 45. We want to thank you again. If you've listened to this long, you're our biggest fan. You're the kind of person who would love to support us in all of our endeavors.
We like you the best.
Yep. And be sure to go down to these links in the descriptions down below and find all the different links, because there's a slew of links in every episode. You can go back through every episode that we've done at this point, 45, and in these 45 different episodes, you can find links to hundreds of bands. Hundreds. Because, we've played hundreds of songs. And hundreds of bands.
Easily.
Well, I don't know how easy it is.
I think so.
If we're playing, some of the bands are being repeated because some of them have multiple releases or multiple songs per release. So we are repeating some bands. We've definitely not gotten to every. Excuse me, 1 second. Catch my breath. We've definitely not got to everyone. I don't know how these people do it professionally.
I know. Yeah, sometimes I get it. I don't
those
understand.
Those Howard Sterns and Joe Brogans. I'm like, what the fuck? They sit there and they talk and they're so relaxed. They must smoke so much weed. Like I know that Brogan does. He does it right in the open.
Yeah.
Stern, I think.
We'll get Justin Davis on here one of these days. He's a DJ on KGRG, and he does I think some of the traffic for Cairo and stuff like that and stuff. We'll get him on here because he could do that too. Maybe he's got some secrets that he could pass down to us to help us out and stuff like that. Be kind of cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Right on. Bye now.
Cruising
She's just a sweet cucumber, sitting by a cherry tree. She's got short blonde hair and eyes like you never seen. I want the whole wide world to know that she's my queen. She's just a sweet cucumber laying by a cherry tree. I know that she loves me, she told me so. She said I'll never, 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 never let you go. She got short blonde hair and eyes like you never seen. I want the whole wide world to know that she's my queen. She's just a sweet cucumber sitting by a cherry tree. Take it on. That she loves me, she told me so. She said I'll never, 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 never let you go. She got short blonde hair and eyes like you never seen. I want the whole wide world to know that she's my queen. She's just a sweet cucumber sitting by a cherry tree. She's just a sweet cucumber sitting by a cherry tree. A sweet cucumber sitting by a cherry tree. Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I see a winter, a very cold winter of the future. I see a winter, a very cold winter of the future. things that we can see, just the things that we read. You can't define yourself if you want in this tough to make believe your whole life washed away in words. So all I know is what I see, and my vision's growing weaker. It makes it hard to be. Sure, this world in front of me is bright enough that we can see your whole life cannot be put in words. If I stay awake for too long, time will not wait to take fate. And if I lie, the truth will follow. I cannot just waste my life away. If I stay awake for too long, time will not wait to take fate. And if I lie, then who cares? It's hard to base decisions only on the things that people say, not the things that they do. We've been denied enough of it, but we don't know what it is. Your whole life ain't nothing more than words. If I stay awake for too long, time will not wait to take fate. And if I lie, the truth will follow. I cannot just waste my life away. If I stay awake for too long, time will not wait to take fate. And if I lie, then who cares? Wait for too long. Don't waste your life and move on. Don't waste your time and move on. I'm still sleeping. I'm still thinking. I'm still alive inside. If I stay awake too long, time will not wait to take fate. And if I lie, the truth will follow. I cannot just waste my life away. If I stay awake for too long, time will not wait to take fate. And if I lie, then who cares? Take me to heaven, drop me to hell. Desert me in the desert or drop me in the well. Put me on the train or tie me to the track. Lift off this weight or just tie it to my back. Such a farce to be living in these parts. No one remembers who we are. Such a crime to be living in these times. No one remembers. Take me in your arms, take me to your sky, take me to your place. God knows no place is mine. Oh, take me off balance, oh, take me by surprise. You can't cover up my ears, you can't cover up my eyes. Such a farce to be living in these parts. No one remembers who we are. Such a crime to be living in these times. No one remembers. This is not my home. This is not familiar. This is not my world. This is foreign. Give me your hand. Can't get up by foot. No. Give me your hand.
lack of course, and their loud practice their attack.
got a problem with religion, spotlighting on obsession. Gonna teach us all a lesson. You told you straight, you told you straight. You told you straight. When you gave your fucking life, you can't repay you cause he's dead. When you gave your one last time, you can't repay you cause he's dead. When you tells you what to do in your sick head, he is dead. Do it all because you follow Jesus Christ, he's fucking dead. He's fucking dead. The fucking guilt is overwhelming. Your managers don't understand. Doctor took you off your anti-swelling. Prescription oxy had your Christian killed. Prescription oxy had your Christian killed. March your kids into the bathroom one by one. Hold their head, relieve them of your constant bitching. You're psychotic, they are dead. Hold them under while they struggle one by one. Lay on the bed. Do it all because you follow Jesus Christ. He is dead. March your kids into the bathroom one by one. Hold their head, relieve them of your constant bitching. You're psychotic, they are dead. Hold them under while they struggle one by one. Lay on the bed. Do it all because you follow Jesus Christ. He is dead. March your kids into the bathroom one by one. Hold their head, relieve them of your constant bitching. You're psychotic, they are dead. Hold them under while they struggle one by one. Laid on the bed. Do it all because you follow Jesus Christ. He is dead. March your kids into the bathroom one by one. Hold their head, relieve them of your constant bitching. You're psychotic, they are dead. Hold them under while they struggle one by one. Laid on the bed. Do it all because you follow Jesus Christ. He is dead. He is dead. He is dead. He is dead. He is dead.
No, no, no!